11:59. We are starting our news today with breaking news. As in the last hour, jurors have found Connor Grubb not guilty on all 6 counts related to the death of Takaya Young. We have certainly been following this from the start. We have team coverage for you this afternoon at the Franklin County Courthouse with Lacey Crisp and Rochelle Aline. We're going to start with Rochelle.
Hey, good afternoon. I mean, there was a wave of emotions after that verdict was read. We actually were in the hallway and we watched as the family came out of the courtroom. Young's grandmother was distraught. She was crying. She had fallen into somebody's arms. We heard her wailing, asking, why is this happening? How is this happening? Eventually, the family was taken away. They were taken downstairs. From my understanding, they have left the courtroom for today. We also got a chance to hear from the family's attorney in a civil suit. They have filed a wrongful death suit, and we spoke to Sean Walton. Here's what he had to say about how the family's doing tonight.
The heartbreak of knowing what happened initially and believing for years that justice would be served, and just understanding how hard it is to convict a police officer in this country. The burden is high for murder already. It's even higher when an officer is involved.
And again, it's not the verdict they were hoping for, but Walton told us they're hoping they'll get the answer they're looking for in that civil case. Tracy?
All right, thank you so much, Rochelle Aline. Now let's get right over to Lacey Crisp with more reaction to Connor Grubb's acquittal. Lacey.
Well, those jurors deliberated for about 7 hours in total. Now, keep in mind, there was a juror who had been dismissed from the case for medical purposes. They deliberated for about 2 hours before they had to start anew with this jury panel. I can tell you when we got word around 10:30 this morning that they had come to a verdict. When those jurors walked in, they looked straight ahead. They didn't look at the families. They did not look at the Grubb family or Connor Grubb at the stand. They looked straight ahead. When the verdict was read, several of the jurors had tears in their eyes. I can tell you defense counsel also said that Connor Grubb had tears in his eyes. And we heard a very emotional reaction from Takaya Young's grandmother, Nadine, after the verdict was read. She was very upset. She had to be escorted out of the courtroom from the sheriff's deputies and from the family members. Now, we spoke with the defense counsel also, and they said that Grubb obviously needs to take a minute to let this all soak in. He said it's been stressful for his family. They would not comment on if Grubb will go back to policing after this. He says that's a personal decision for Connor Grubb and for his family. But the Young family obviously very upset, and they said they're still looking forward to that civil suit that's coming in the next few months. Reporting live, Lacey Crisp, 10 TV News.
All right, thank you so much. That was Lacey Crisp. 10 TV's Jeff Hogan is live outside the courthouse with more. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course, Tracy. And I just got here just a little bit ago, and I can tell you many days around this courthouse setting, you can find a bit of a different atmosphere than what I'm seeing today. People driving by in cars yelling. So the emotions from inside have come outside. We have made our way all the way around the outside of the courthouse. I've seen some groups gathering, huddling, talking, and just imagining what it was like coming out for some folks who felt that justice wasn't served in this case. Connor Grubb faced 10 charges in this. 4 of them were removed that were related to the unborn child. But then more were the 6 that were left there. The felonious assault, of course, the murder charges included in those 6 charges right there for him. So when it all came down and verdict came out and folks started coming out of the courtroom, this is what I can tell you. There were some emotional folks who were leaving. You can stand out here and not get people yelling at you from cars about something like this. So you can just feel it in the community that folks don't feel that justice was served. But we have heard from the special prosecutor right now, Dan Brandt. I want to hear what he had to say.
As you probably noticed, the jury was emotional when the verdicts were read. So they've gone through, I've lost track, a 3-week trial. And we certainly thank them for the dedication that they put in for these 3 weeks, these long days, and not only listening to and considering the evidence, but their deliberations. So it's been emotional for the jurors as well. We've gone through 3 days of deliberation. That tells you it wasn't an easy decision for them.
The bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is no matter what you say from any angle, a car was used towards a Blendon Township police officer, and he had to react, and so that's the society that we live in. And this isn't a racial case; it has nothing to do with any aspect of that. But that's the bottom line of the situation. It's just not that complicated.
Also, Takai Young's family said that this fight isn't over. There is a civil lawsuit that is active right now and still in play in this case. Connor Grubb not guilty on the 6 charges. Criminally cannot be recharged on that, but the civil suit will go on. And this is something that we'll continue to follow from right here at the courthouse, Tracy.
All right, Jeff Hogan for us. Thank you so much. Right now, we do want to take you back to the moment the judge read the 6-count verdict where Connor Grubb did, in fact, learn his fate.
We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of felonious assault as charged in count 1 of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Second verdict. We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of felonious assault as charged in count 2 of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Third verdict. We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of murder as charged in count 3 of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Fourth verdict. We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of murder as charged in count 4 of the indictment, signed this 21st day of November 2025 by each and every juror. Fifth verdict. We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count 5. Sixth verdict. We, the jury, upon our oaths and law and evidence in this case, find the defendant not guilty of involuntary manslaughter as charged in count 6 of the indictment.
And after the verdict, we heard emotion in the courtroom.
Everyone could have a seat. Mr. Grubb, Mr. Grubb, you're... Mr. Grubb, you're hereby discharged.
For more coverage, download the free 10 TV News app or head to 10tv.com, our website. We will have information there, and we also send updates right to your phone.